Oh, what a pretty morning. Still a little bit chilly, but that's going to change later in the day as it gets warmer. I'm on my way down to the Capitol building today because somebody asked me a question yesterday. Are there still National Guard troops at the Capitol? And I think there are, but I don't know how many. So let's go down there and take a look and see what we see on the way. Oh, change in course. Vice President. Come on. I wonder. Better catch up. You're behind, and I'm going to get on the bridge before you. Okay, so the race is on to get to the bridge before they cross under it on Rock Creek. This is going to be kind of fun. So, due to construction on Massachusetts Avenue, it looks like they're taking a different route to work today for the Vice President, and which should be cool for us because we can get above the motorcade on the Rock Creek Bridge if we can get to the bridge in time, which is a big question mark. Because the bridge is a bit of ways. Can we catch the light? Yeah, we got this light. Just make sure there's nobody turning in front of us, like this Audi. Oh, here we go, big bump. Oh, and the crazy protester man. Let's say hi to him. Morning. What's up, man? He's happy, he's mad, he changes every other day. Okay, let's make some speed down this thing. I can hear this. I can hear them over on my left in the parkway. This bike makes me feel like the Wicked Witch of the West. I mean, this is like this old grandma bike. Yeah, so I couldn't go down this way because of the construction going on Mass Avenue today. Construction that's like made my commute a nightmare for like youth soccer and other stuff. Here we go. We still have quite a ways to go before we get to the bridge. We got to pass a bunch of embassies. I don't know if I'm going to beat them. British ambassador, South African embassy here on my left, Bolivia on the right, former Iranian embassy on the left, Brazil on the right, and we're gonna get to the bridge. Will we make it without dying? I can't hear anything. Whoa. Okay, one more block. I don't think we made it. Honestly, I don't. We're on the bridge. But no sign of the Vice President's motorcade. I think it just went by, given that those guys are like looking over trying to hawk loogies or something. Bummer. Well, it was a good try, wasn't it, guys? How long did that take us? That took us like 3 minutes. Yeah, I think she's faster than we are. All right, well, that got rid of our first 3 minutes pretty quickly. Let's head on down to the U.S. Capitol. So, we didn't catch her. We can swing over here. This is the Russian Defense Attaché's house. This is where they do all their good spying. Russian military intelligence. Barack Obama lives down that street. Was that Belmont Street? And then just up here was Ivanka Trump's house. Ivanka Trump lived in this White House. I think it's for rent for like $16,000 a month, 16 grand a month. Let's cut back through here. We got nothing else to do. Everybody's like dodging speed bumps back here. This is Kalorama Circle. This is one of the most expensive neighborhoods in Washington, D.C. Many of these houses are owned by diplomats, cabinet secretaries, titans of business, and people who inherited money. Let's head up here. There's actually a back door to Obama's house down here too, but it's also blocked by the Secret Service down on that little. This is the actual circle, Kalorama Circle. 2 former presidents used to live here prior to their time as president, or afterwards, I think. This is my favorite house, though. I've shown you this before, but it's worth seeing again. Oof. Speed bumps. Oh, this is the Embassy of Thailand on my right here. But on my left is the French ambassador's house. By far my favorite house in Washington, D.C. So the French ambassador lives here. No, not to be outdone, the American ambassador to Paris. His house is basically an old hotel. It's gorgeous. It's ridiculous. So being posted to Paris as the U.S. ambassador carries a really nice housing accommodation. But this is where the French ambassador lives. I don't even know who the current French ambassador is right now. Oh well. His neighbor, by the way, is the Portuguese ambassador, which isn't quite as grand. But still, it's a decent house too. This is the Portuguese ambassador's house. Alrighty, let's head over to the White House area. What? Oh. That's an ambassador. RM. I have to look up that country code later. That was diplomat RM. Every license plate will tell you what country they're from. So RM is, I don't know. This is Connecticut Avenue. It actually smells like something's burning. Like somebody lit a fireplace on a day when it's 70 degrees. Yeah, that's kind of like it's like an optional red light. That is the Russian Trade and Economic exchange office, which of course most Americans think is a spy den, a den of espionage, commercial or whatnot. Over there is the Hilton, the Hinckley Hilton. That's where President Reagan was shot. I did a video about the assassination attempt. That was 40 years ago, plus or minus a few weeks. And that took place right here. Let's avoid this car. There's cars behind me too. Oh, what's that line over there? COVID testing? No, it's an embassy. It's like that's a visa office. I don't know which embassy, but everybody's lined up to get passports or visa documents or something. Where's this guy? See, this is a diplomat. He just turns right from the left lane against the light because, you know, he's a diplomat. Well, I'm going to turn left because I'm a bicycle. I should have diplomatic immunity on my bicycle. That would be cool. Of course, I basically act like I have immunity because, well, I'm a bicycle. Alrighty, what can we find down here? You guys keep asking about these trees. Why are the trees all in fences? What did the trees do wrong? It's not the trees doing anything wrong, it's the construction guys. They've discovered that in a city full of trees, whenever the construction guys start to work on a thing, every week or so they accidentally nick a branch or bang a tree or something like that. And as a result, all the beautiful trees that line the streets of Washington get damaged every time they renew the streets, they repave. So, as a result, the law now says if you're going to do construction on the street, you have to protect the trees. And protecting the trees means putting a fence around every tree so your backhoe or bulldozer doesn't bang into it. Oh, kind of an interesting concept. Garbage truck. Bicycle immunity doesn't apply to garbage trucks. Garbage trucks go splat on bicycle immunity. Hey, he's not carnival personnel. That guy's not carnival personnel. Oh, we're here at the Hyrix Castle. I've shown you this before. This was the biggest employer in Washington until the government came around. Basically, this was the Hyrix beer baron. He had all the beer, and this was his castle. This is one of the first fireproof buildings ever made in Washington, D.C., because it's made entirely of stone. And it's actually still studied by architectural historians because it's a nice example of architecture from that period of time. It's available for rent as like a museum and stuff like that. The Hyrix Castle. Okay, where are we going now? We're gonna hit a guy. But okay, I guess it's green. See, this is a two-way bike lane, but they don't actually have lights for me. I have to sort of just, I don't know, use a traffic light gauge to assess, is it safe for me to go? Is it safe for me to not get hit? What's that? That's the Honduran embassy, I think, over here. Everybody wants to go to Honduras. Where's it, El Salvador? No, it's Honduras. So outside a lot of the embassies, you see these lines, people lined up to get visas, to get documents, get new passports. That is the Honduras consulate, the consular's office of Honduras. Time to paint the lines. I don't know what's wet paint and what's not. There we go. There's the line in Honduras. It's so quiet down here. I mean, it's 9:30 in the morning on a Tuesday. It's not exactly like party hour. It's not happy hour for anything. But there are really not a lot of people out and about. Work from home is going to radically alter the landscape of downtowns around the country, I suspect. There's a story in the Washington Post yesterday about how for a number of families, you know, with the parents working, the whole concept of work from home is like, yeah, this is now essential. As essential as like sick leave is the ability to work from home. And employers that don't match those demands are going to have a hard time finding employees in the future, which is going to have a knock-on effect to everything from bank, real estate, office space, transportation. It's a pretty massive shift that's just been undergone. Pretty massive experiment. Oof. What do we got here? Oh, the Mexican embassy. Embajado de Mexico. And on my right is the International Monetary Fund, the IMF. And that big building over there in the far ground is the World Bank headquarters, with one of the best cafeterias in Washington. But you can't go there unless you know somebody who works for the World Bank. If you do know someone who goes to the World Bank, you got to go have lunch there because, well, when it's open. Because they have food from like all over the world. Let's jack this thing in here, okay? Lock. There we go. Bicycle's locked. We are out of here. Okay. Whew. My legs feel heavy now that I don't have that electronic pedal assist pushing me down the hill. Alrighty, we're at 18th Street. We got to go to 17th and 16th will be the White House. And then we'll make our way to the U.S. Capitol. Our mission today is to see if there are any National Guard troops still standing at the Capitol. And I think there are, but I can't be entirely sure. Pie House. Delightful Greek pies and coffee. really wouldn't know the difference between a Greek pie and not a Greek pie. Where should we go today? There's a police car in front of the White House. Not abnormal, but I mean outside of here, Lafayette Park. But he's got his lights on, which means he's either illegally parked for a cup of coffee or he's harassing somebody, like a protester or a homeless person or something like that. Either way, we will investigate. Because, well, why not? We're here. Let me show you what I see. You know, I haven't seen the Ram car in a long time. They used to have a car here that they would ram trucks with. Secret Service cars here on my left. The uniform division. Park is still closed, which is a shame. I'd love to take you into the park, but not today. Soon, they keep saying, soon. You can bounce on these things. Wing. See, there are gates. They can eventually open these gates. Yeah, and for those who ask, the locks are on the inside. But eventually they're going to open these gates and let us into the park. This is a DC cop. Oh, I wonder. I heard reports that civil disobedience units are all over the city today on standby for possible deployment if the George Floyd case goes a certain way. So we'll check that out. This is Black Lives Matter Plaza, which actually has a massive construction going on, which would not really be conducive for a protest tonight, if they do end up protesting. And over here is the White House, where we can now stick our arm through the fence. Woo! Pretty mellow day. Everybody was saying, oh, it's all boarded up, it's all boarded up. I don't see any boards. Let me get my other camera out, okay? With my other camera, I can zoom in a bit more. Okay, so people have been telling me the windows are boarded up at the White House, and you know what? I don't see it. You guys see any boarded up windows? Not on this side. We can go to the other side, but we're not seeing anything like that right now today. So we're heading down to the ellipse, and we're going to cut over to the south lawn. From the south lawn, from that side, we should be able to see the construction, but everybody keeps saying, are the windows boarded up? And I'll show you what I can see, so you guys can make your own decision. There's the American Red Cross headquarters. I don't think they actually have like blood banks. You can't like go there and donate blood and get a cookie. Maybe you can, I don't know. But I think that's more like the fundraising arm of the world of the Red Cross. What do we have going? This jaywalk in front of the police. Let's cut over, show the IDs, show the badges. Those guys have badges. We need your stinking badges. When you come here, you need your stinking badges. They weren't Secret Service badges. Secret Service badges look like kind of like U.S. Marshal badges. They were like, I don't know what kind of badges they were. There you can see the old flagpole. Well, not the old flagpole. That's a great picture. Hang on a second. Let me show you this picture. So here you see the flagpole on the White House tennis court, and in the background is the new flagpole, or the flagpole on top of it. That's where they moved the POW MIA flag from. They moved from this flagpole to the other flagpole. There's a lot of construction down here. This is part of the White House fence upgrade. That's been going on for about a year now. Not more than a year. Like pre-COVID. I think they planned it even pre-COVID. It should be done though. You know, I don't know if this is the fence. This might be something on the road. What's this memorial? I don't even know. Archibald Willingham, birth 1865-1912. This monument has been erected by their friends with the sanction of Congress in memory of Francis Davis Millet, 1846-1912, and Archibald Willingham Butt, 1865-1912. I have no idea. All right, gives me something to Google. That's kind of odd. So this is the ellipse grounds. This is where the helicopter landed the other night. Still don't know what these mats are for, because the helicopter lands out in the grass a bit. Somebody asked me about weeds. Yeah, the ellipse is filled with weeds. Dandelions, crabgrass, just about everything. I mean, this is filled with weeds. Now the White House lawn, on the other hand, is like pristine. I mean, like they have like lasers, I think, that like get rid of the weeds. I don't know, but the White House lawn is always very, very green. All right, we're here at the 0 milestone, just across from the south lawn of the White House. And let's see what we can see. The only way to like look over the fence is to climb up on this post here, this cement barrier, and then like look up high. Well, hang on. So here we are on the south lawn, and you can see the construction that's going on. Let me zoom in again. So there is construction on the south lawn. You can see the plywood. That's why the helicopter can't land. But if you look at the windows are not boarded up. I can't see any boarded up windows at the White House. A lot of you were asking me, the White House is boarded up. Well, no. I mean, there is the boards for the construction on the south lawn, and then of course there are these boards here for this thing, whatever this might be. But White House is still operational. I did see two sharpshooters. Let's see if I can see them again. No, I did see them briefly on the other side, but there were 2 spotters on the top. They're not looking for me right now. Alrighty, let's go to the Congress. Which way should we go? I think the tree's dead. I'm officially pronouncing this tree dead. It's like brown. Can you tell? Can you tell in the camera? I can't. I mean, it's really brown and sparse. It's time for a new tree. They might have to dig this one up, plant it somewhere else, and bring us a new tree. That one just looks dead. Oh wow, there's a Belgian flag up there today. Oh, there's Belgian soldiers? So the museums, or the memorial staff, are explaining to the Belgian delegation the meanings of this statue. It's still not out yet. I'll take a picture of that too. Where should we go? Let's go that way. Yeah, let's go that way. This is the Willard Hotel. The Willard Hotel is where they had some last-ditch peace talks between the North and the South, or representatives of the North and the South, in an effort to stop the Civil War, an effort that failed. Over there, that's the District of Columbia City Hall. The district, that's the DC government building. And it's surrounded by the Ronald Reagan government building, which is just a variety of government agencies and offices. And then in the distance there, you see the Trump Hotel, which is the old post office, converted into the Trump Hotel. And that is a scooter. Let's see if it's available. Oh, no. It's got a 9-mile range. Let's take it. Up here on the right is the Hotel Harrington. Yeah, this is E, 12th and E. Hotel Harrington. This is where a lot of the January 6th protesters were staying. So much so that during the inauguration, they actually closed the hotel. And they ended up housing the National Guard in the hotel instead. So this is actually this is one of the older hotels, and it's not that expensive. A lot of people like to stay there. It's got a good reputation amongst tourists. I don't know how clean it is or anything, but it's like cheap, and it's right downtown, ergo a lot of people like to stay there. Up here on my right is FBI headquarters, the headquarters of the FBI. And right next to the FBI on my left, let's go over here because a lot of you want to see this. You guys have asked me to show you this many times. But this building here, this is Ford's Theater. This is where President Abraham Lincoln went to attend a play in which he never returned. Abraham Lincoln was shot in Ford's Theater, and then his body, his wounded body, was rushed across the street to this house. And this was a Dr. Dr. Peterson, I want to say? This is the house where Abraham Lincoln died. The house where Lincoln died. It's part of the Ford's Theater. You can go in. I don't think it costs money. I think it's free. This is Ford's Theater. But if you want to see a play at Ford's Theater, it actually costs money. But in keeping with that, let's spin around back here, because there's another part of history back down this alley. So this is F, 950 F Street, Frank. And we have to go down a little bit farther, 920, 926. Yeah, here we go. Let's go down this alley. This alley, 150 years ago or so, was filled with little stables, horses, and guys with all their horses. Basically like a parking lot. And that door right up there, that's the back door off the stage of Lincoln's Theater. So, John Wilkes Booth, after he had shot the president, came running down here, kicked open this door, hit a guard, and grabbed his waiting horse that was sitting in this alley, and then he took off, just down like I'm doing right now. And he fled out of Washington, D.C., and into southern Maryland, where he was captured. Shootout, I think. Yeah, he was shot, wasn't he? So there's a little memorial here. And there is a picture of John Wilkes Booth running out of the door I just showed you. And there's the big gate that you saw. So Booth came down that alley, and then he turned here on F Street. So if you come to Washington, D.C., be sure to see the alley, the escape route of John Wilkes Booth. Alrighty, where are we? We're coming up in Chinatown, kind of close. This is the National Portrait Gallery and the National Museum of American Art. They're kind of like merged together. It's like one giant building with an amazing atrium, which is of course closed right now due to COVID, which kind of blows. Hey, there's a bike route. So we can't actually go up the Capitol still. There's still a fence. I think that fence is going to remain until Biden does the joint address to the Congress. After that, though, there's going to be a lot of pressure to remove the fence. They normally do put up a fence for a State of the Union type address, so it's not entirely abnormal. Veterans. Stop the deportation of military veterans. Oh, so there's guys protesting. And these must be like the some of the guys who got like green cards, then got deported. Not really sure what the details are, but there's like a number of guys who actually served, but then they got deported. Bring deported veterans back to their thing. Okay, so let's see what we got. looking for National Guard guys. I see like 3 way off in the distance to my left, but I don't see any at the median. There's a Capitol Hill police officer with a machine gun, an automatic weapon. I don't know why we keep saying machine guns if they're not technically machine guns anymore. I'm not sure. So here on the west front of the U.S. Capitol, facing the mall, I am looking from left to right. I don't see a single National Guard soldier. I see 3 over on the road back there at a checkpoint. But in here, zilch. Now there used to be a National Guard soldier every 10 feet surrounding the Capitol. That went on for days, weeks. But now, I think they've all been sent home. Well, I mean, most of them been sent home. There is a guy in a tower up there, but that's like a cop. Yeah, it's pretty empty. The grass looks nice, with nobody stomping on the grass for the last 6 months. Or whatever it's been, 3 months. And up there, nobody. Oh, I'll show you something really cool. Well, not really cool, but really something bizarre. Okay, so you see the main flag there, yeah? The main flag right there beneath the Capitol Dome. But over here to the right, do you see those tiny little flagpoles over there? Those tiny little flagpoles? Yeah. When you talk to your congressman and you say, can I have a flag that flew over the U.S. Capitol for my school, Boy Scouts, community, veteran, etc.? They're like, sure. What they do is they send the flags over to the flag office and they raise them up that little flagpole all day long. They raise hundreds of flags up that flagpole every single day, and then they take them down again. So this is the Bartholdi Fountain, Bartholdi of Statue of Liberty fame. Also made this fountain. I think he made it for like a exposition, like a World Trade or World Fair or a centennial exhibition of the U.S. And I think the Congress bought this thing. They got a pretty good deal on it too. It smells really nice here. There's a lot of flowers. Let's cut back over behind these government buildings and find a bike. Yeah, I'm back on a bike. I gotta get home and do some stuff, so I thought, well, we can walk home or we can bike. We can bike a good portion of it. We're gonna bike a good portion of the ride home. So we're down. There we go. And it's red and it's green. Oh crap. These guys are still painting. I have to make sure I don't end up going through the paint. That would be funny. I'd have like a green wheels everywhere. He knows I want to run the stoplight. He's just laughing. He's like, see that kid? He wants to run the stoplight. I know he wants to run the stoplight, but I'm here so he can't. There we go. Obeying our traffic laws. Occasionally. Whew. Just made it. 14 seconds. I made it with 14 seconds to spare on my 30-minute rental. That's why I wasn't chatting much, and that's why I was running red lights, because I didn't want to get hit with the added use charge if I go over 30 minutes. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that little bike ride. run around the city. I'm gonna run in the drugstore and get something to eat.